Buying a home and relocating to a new area can feel overwhelming. So in this video, I'm going to go over all of the pros and cons of Lake Wildwood, California, to help you decide if it's a place you might like to buy a home. I've also done many other videos about Lake Wildwood, and I'll link those at the end of this one. There is also Lake of the Pines, which is very similar, and I do service Lake of the Pines as well. That is about 35 minutes away in Auburn. And also, I'll get into more of this in a minute, but both Lake Wildwood and Lake of the Pines are gated communities with guards at the gate. So definitely call me first before you head on over to go check it out for yourself, because you will not be able to get in. We can go in there together and I'll give you a full tour. I'm going to start with the pros, and then I'll get into some that could be a pro or a con depending on your preference. I'm going to call those either, and then I'm going to get into the cons. So let's get right into it. Pro number one is access to the amenities in Lake Wildwood. Lake Wildwood is a vacation where you live lifestyle, and as I just mentioned, it is a gated community, so you don't have access to Lake Wildwood or Lake of the Pines unless you live there or you have a realtor with a pass. One of the amenities is, of course, the lake, but there is also a 19-hole championship golf course, clubhouse, restaurant, and bar overlooking the golf course. There is a pool overlooking the lake, a marina for your boat, tennis, pickleball, volleyball, bocce ball, horseshoes, and kids' play structures. The lake is a 300-acre man-made lake with 5 beaches and parks all around the lake that are absolutely beautiful. They're all different and unique from each other. Lake Wildwood gets its water from Deer Creek, which gets its water from Scotts Flat Reservoir. You can swim. There's buoyed off sections at the park so that it's safe from the boats to swim. You can sailboat, powerboat, pontoon boat. I love pontoon boats. You can enjoy water skiing or wakeboarding and canoeing and kayaking, but no jet skis. In addition to the marina where you can keep your boat, there's also a dry dock at one of the parks with a boat launch, so you can keep your boat in the dry dock. There are waiting lists for both of these, so once you buy a home in Lake Wildwood, you're going to want to get on the wait list right away. And if you own a lakefront home, then you have your own private dock right in front of your home, and I did a video all about the lake, so you can check that out at the end of this one. Pro number 2 is that Lake Wildwood is a certified Firewise community with a fire station at the entrance, so this will help with your fire insurance, which is great. Pro number 3 is that all the roads are maintained and the common areas are landscaped beautifully. Pro number 4 is that Lake Wildwood is very centrally located. From the Lake Wildwood entrance to downtown Grass Valley, it's about 13 minutes. From the Lake Wildwood entrance to downtown Nevada City, it's about 17 minutes. Auburn is about 40 minutes, and to the Sacramento airport is an hour and 5 minutes. And for you ski lovers, North Lake Tahoe is about an hour and a half away. South Lake Tahoe is about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And last but not least, the beautiful Yuba River is just about 11 minutes up the road from Lake Wildwood. By the way, my name is Cheyenne, and if you're thinking about buying a home in Nevada County, California, and you want to know everything about Grass Valley, Nevada City, and Penn Valley, consider me your boots on the ground realtor. Whether you're moving in 3 weeks or 3 months, my partner and I would love to help you, and all of my contact info is below. Pro number 5 is that even though it is an HOA, all of the homes are unique. This is not a cookie cutter community. A lot of the homes were built in the 70s and 80s. There are some that are fully remodeled, some are not remodeled at all, and everything in between. I guess the upside of that is if you find something that is not remodeled, you can make it exactly how you want it. The landscape is just a beautiful rolling topography. There are some flatter areas around the golf course, but it's just really beautiful. There's trees all around. Even though it's a Firewise community, there's beautiful trees, and it's just really lovely. Pro number 6 is that Lake Wildwood is a great place to retire, although it is not a retirement community. There are all ages and stages of life in Lake Wildwood, so it's a great place to retire, it's a great place to raise kids, it's a great place to have a second home, vacation home, it's a beautiful place to work from home, and likely if you buy a home there, your family is going to love to come visit you. Pro number 7 is that Lake Wildwood has all price ranges. This is being filmed in March of 2024, and currently there are 18 homes on the market in Lake Wildwood. The lowest priced home right now is $389,000, and likely the ones that are in the $300,000 range are going to be very small, like around 11 or 1200 square feet, possibly smaller, and or fixers. And the highest price home on the market right now is a lakefront for $3.5 million. And that is the only lakefront on the market right now, but likely as we go into spring and summer, there will be more lakefronts on the market. Lakefronts usually start a little bit above $1 million and go up from there. And then the majority of the homes on the market are in the $400,000 to $600,000 range. And likely as summer progresses, we will see more homes in the $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 range. And those will be homes with lake views or nicer homes on the golf course. So there's something for everyone in Lake Wildwood. Pro number 8 is the Oaks Clubhouse Restaurant and Bar, which has 3 beautiful seating areas. One side is a bar and a restaurant, and one side is a more formal dining area that does not have the bar, and then the middle is the outdoor seating, which overlooks the golf course. And that is covered on all sides. And so it's really lovely if we're having a heat wave in summer, you can still enjoy dining outside or having a drink outside and be in the shade. The whole dining area is really beautiful. It has fireplaces and a water feature. Often there's live music in the outdoor seating area, and it gets hopping over there. After people play golf, often the golfers will have a drink and lunch and hang out. There's also themed dinners, and a lot of the residents show up for this, so it's a pretty fun place. Pro number 9 is that right across the street from Lake Wildwood is a shopping center, and there's a great grocery store, a bank, a dentist, and many other stores. And so often you're going to see Lake Wildwood residents driving over on their golf cart because you just have to literally cross the street. And also just down the street, you have to drive your car. You can't drive your golf cart there, but not too far down the road is another shopping center with a gas station, an amazing restaurant called 1228 Kitchen. There's a pizza shop, there's a brewery, and a frozen yogurt store and a few other stores in there. And then across the street from that, just a few minutes down the road, is downtown Penn Valley. And downtown Penn Valley doesn't have all of the restaurants and boutique shopping like downtown Grass Valley in Nevada City does, but Penn Valley is a sweet little downtown area with more practical things like a hardware store, a fencing store, a post office, a gardening store, and a few other little restaurants down there as well. There's auto mechanic store, so kind of more practical shopping, just not too far from Lake Wildwood in downtown Penn Valley. Let's get into the either category. This could go either way depending on your preference. Either number 1 is there are deer and turkey in Lake Wildwood. Lots of deer and turkey. This could be a pro for you if you like to look out your window and see deer walking by, or taking a nap in your yard, or see a little pack of turkeys crossing the road. You will see deer on the golf course and the parks, usually in the evening time, sunset time. This could be a con for you if you like to garden, because the deer and turkey will like to eat your flowers and food that you grow. You can have a little fence around your garden. You will just need permission from Lake Wildwood. There's no perimeter fences allowed around your property, but lots of residents do have little fences around their raised beds. Either number 2, and I touched on this earlier, but just want to go into it a little bit more here, is that because it's a gated community, there are guards at the gate 24/7, and there are 2 gates, and there are guards at both gates 24/7. So it's probably a pro for you since you're watching this video and you're interested in Lake Wildwood, but just in case, that could go either way for some people, so I just want to mention that here. Either number 3 is that there is a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit in Lake Wildwood, and they are very strict about this, and they will ticket you. And so this could be a pro for you if you like the fact that no one will be speeding by your house, and it just creates a really tranquil, slower paced lifestyle. And if you like to drive really fast, this could be a con for you. But there is a solution. Because there are 2 gates, depending on where you live in Lake Wildwood, having 2 gates is very helpful, because you can exit Lake Wildwood at the gate that is closest to your home, and then drive on Pleasant Valley Road to wherever you're going at 45 miles an hour. So having both gates really helps. If there were only 1 gate and you lived on the far side of Lake Wildwood, you would have to drive 25 miles an hour around the lake, and that could take quite some time. But having both gates kind of helps with the speed limit issue. Either number 4 is that you cannot drive a motorcycle inside of Lake Wildwood. So if you own a motorcycle, this is probably a con for you, but there is a solution. You can park your motorcycle or store your motorcycle at the second gate. So there's a little parking area for motorcycles. And then when you want to go for a motorcycle ride, you just drive your car to the second gate, park it there, hop on your motorcycle, go out the gate onto Pleasant Valley Road and wherever you want to go. And then when you come back, put your motorcycle there and hop in your car and go home. Lake Wildwood, as I said, is a really peaceful, serene environment, so I understand why they have this rule. And if you don't have a motorcycle and you like that peaceful, serene environment, this is probably a pro for you. Either number 5 is 4th of July. 4th of July is a big event in Lake Wildwood, and it's a time when everyone comes to the main park because they have a boat parade and fireworks, and it's just a really big event. So pretty much the whole rest of the year, Lake Wildwood is quiet and there's no traffic and the roads and the beaches are not crowded. But on 4th of July, everyone comes to this event. So it's probably not a con for anyone, but I just kind of want to mention it here to be prepared for that. There are some homes that sit above the lake so that you can see the lake and see the fireworks from your home. So if you end up buying one of these homes, you will likely be very popular with any of the people that you meet in Lake Wildwood, and you will have friends and family over to view the boat parade or at least the fireworks from the comfort of your home out on your beautiful deck. Either number 6 is the weather. Lake Wildwood is in Nevada County, California, in a town called Penn Valley, and we are about 1,500 feet elevation, so we do not get snow here in Penn Valley or Lake Wildwood. Every few years we might get a little dusting of snow, which is really pretty and exciting, but it doesn't last very long. So the winters in Penn Valley and Lake Wildwood are very mild. You can actually garden most of the winter also if you like to grow kale and green leafy vegetables. I think broccoli might be a winter veggie also. But Grass Valley and Nevada City, it does snow about twice a year. So you can live in Lake Wildwood, not have to shovel your driveway with snow, and when it's snowing in Grass Valley, just drive 10 or 15 minutes and you will see snow. So it's kind of fun that you can live without the snow but be really close to the snow. And then of course Lake Tahoe is not very far also if you like to ski. Summers in Penn Valley and Lake Wildwood can be up to 5 degrees hotter than Grass Valley and Nevada City. So if we are having a heat wave in Nevada County and it's 95 degrees in Grass Valley, it could be 100 degrees in Penn Valley. And there have been some summers where Penn Valley even gets hotter than 100 degrees. So it's not the whole summer long, but it is warmer here than it is in Grass Valley and Nevada City. So it just depends. We have mild winters and hot summers, but you have the lake and you also have the Yuba River, which is just 10-15 minutes down the road. Either number 7 is that there are no dogs allowed at the beaches and parks in Lake Wildwood. There has been a petition going around to open up a dog park in Lake Wildwood, and I really hope that this passes because there are a lot of Lake Wildwood residents that do have dogs, and I think a dog park would really be appropriate and wonderful. There is a little hiking trail and there are some green belts where you can have your dog on leash, and you can also get a little fenced area for your dog on your property, but just like the garden fence, you do need to get permission to have that fence put up. So the pro about this is that there won't be any dog poop at the parks and beaches, which actually is great because we all know that even when there are rules about cleaning up after your dog, not everyone follows those rules. So I do think that's nice, but hopefully they'll put the dog park in. And then I just want to mention here that Lake of the Pines has slightly different rules. They do allow dogs on the grassy areas next to the beaches. So at the parks, they allow dogs not on the sand, only on the grass. And they do have a quite nice large dog park in Lake of the Pines. So as I mentioned, I do service Lake of the Pines as well. I haven't made as many videos about Lake of the Pines just because I spend more time in Lake Wildwood, but I'm happy to give you a full tour of Lake of the Pines or just chat with you about it over the phone. Either number 8 is that most of the lots in Lake Wildwood are 1/3 of an acre. And so this is just really personal preference to each individual person, because some people feel like 1/3 of an acre is a lot of land and some people think it's just not very much and the homes might be too close together. So the way it works in Lake Wildwood is that because it's not a cookie cutter subdivision, every home is situated differently on that particular lot. So you might have homes right next to you, or you will have homes right next to you, but in some cases your neighbor's home might be set back farther than yours, and so it won't feel like they're right next to you. Sometimes it's on a curve, and so that can create more space. So it really just depends. Each lot is different, each home is situated differently, so you really have to be there to check it out and see what that looks like and what you like or don't like. Either number 9 is tennis and pickleball. If you love to play pickleball or tennis, or you want to learn to play pickleball or tennis, this is definitely going to be a pro for you. Pickleball is very popular in Lake Wildwood. Both the pickleball courts and the tennis courts just recently got resurfaced, so that's really nice. There's a gentleman who plays pickleball and tennis, and he organizes this event in Lake Wildwood, so he keeps track of when people are playing on the courts, I guess, so that it doesn't get too crowded, but he's very involved, so it really is a big part of the community. If you're not interested in this sport, then I guess this wouldn't be a pro for you. Either number 10 is the golf course. I have a lot of clients that buy in Lake Wildwood and have no interest in playing golf, but they just want to live in Lake Wildwood because of the lake and the other amenities. I have clients that buy in Lake Wildwood because they're avid golf players, and I have clients that end up learning how to play golf. So this just depends on what you're interested in. The golf course is an 18-hole championship golf course. It is 168 acres. It's a rolling topography with ponds. There's a driving range and a pro shop, and there is a gentleman who organizes the golf, and he keeps track of who's golfing when so that it doesn't get too crowded, and he is also a professional golfer, I believe, and so he's very involved in that, and he's very helpful. You can go into the pro shop and talk with him anytime about it. There is a fee to play golf, so you have access to the golf course by living in Lake Wildwood, but you still have to pay to play. And all of the clients that I have taken in, every single one to speak with the pro shop, have told me that the prices are very reasonable. I also did a video where I went in depth about the golf course, and I will link this video at the end of this one. Either number 11 is community activities. In addition to pickleball and tennis, there are lots of other community activities. There is live music from classical to rock and everything in between. There is exercise classes, there's a hiking group, there's themed dinners, and lots of other activities. So if you're interested in meeting people and doing group activities, this will definitely be a pro for you. Either number 12 is that Lake Wildwood dredges the lake for silt about every other year. It just depends on the amount of rainfall. Sometimes they do it every year, but usually it's every other year. And when they do this, they lower the lake level by about 15 feet. This is really just probably a pro because they're maintaining the lake, but I just kind of want to mention it because it could be a con because they are lowering the lake, and that could affect you. They do this in late October, early November, and if you own a lakefront home, this is a great opportunity to do repairs on your dock when the water is lowered. Okay, let's get into the cons of Lake Wildwood. Con number 1 is bacteria in the lake. The last time that Lake Wildwood really had an issue with this was in 2017, and since then they test regularly and they put their test results on their website. So you can always go on the website and check out what the test results are. If they ever do a test and it comes up bad, they put tape around that part of the beach so that wherever they find it, so that you can't swim in the lake, thankfully, when there's bacteria in it. And then they test and don't open it back up until they're really sure that there's no bacteria in that part of the lake. So it is a bummer, it does happen, but they're very on it and keeping track of it and taking care of it when they do find something. Con number 2 is wildlife. We are in the Sierra Nevada foothills, and it's an absolutely beautiful nature setting, but with nature comes wildlife. And so in all of Nevada County, we do have bear, mountain lion, and rattlesnakes. The chances of seeing these animals in Lake Wildwood are probably slim to none since it's such a residential area compared to, let's say, if you lived out on 10 acres a mile down a dirt road like I do. But there is a chance that you could see one of these animals. And if there ever is a sighting of any of these animals, they put a sign at the entry gate that just says there's been a sighting, just so that you can be aware. I have never seen a sign at the gate that anyone saw a bear. It may have happened and I just wasn't aware of it, but I have seen signs at the front gate that said someone saw a mountain lion or a rattlesnake, so it's just something to be aware of. Again, I really don't think it's a huge deal in Lake Wildwood, but living in this county, it's just something to know and be aware of. And along with nature and all of these animals that you may not want to see, the benefit is that we do have a lot of animals and beauty that you do want to see, like birds and squirrels and rabbits and deer. So it's a beautiful setting and just something to be aware of. Con number 3 is the HOA fees and rules. And there are quite a few rules. Even if the fees and the rules don't bother you, and it doesn't bother a lot of people because you just love Lake Wildwood and you feel that it's totally worth it for you because you want to live here, I still wanted to put it in this cons list. The current HOA fee is $3,405 per year, and this is a fiscal year, so May 31st is the end of that year, and it can and usually does go up every year. I heard this year that it was only proposed to go up about $100, which is great because last year it went up over $400. So every year it's different. I'm glad to hear that this year it's not going up very much. And that fee is for access to Lake Wildwood. They maintain the roads and the gates have guards 24/7. There also is a new assessment fee for home buyers. It is a one-time fee of $2,554 and it is due within the first 9 months of owning your home. At the end of the day, everything with real estate is negotiable. So there are definitely ways around this or ways to work this, and as your realtor we would have this discussion. So if you're curious about that, give me a call and I can tell you my thoughts on it. Well, if you've made it this far, I'm guessing you are probably interested in Lake Wildwood, so definitely give me a call. I will give you a full tour, and until then, enjoy these other videos on Lake Wildwood.